and welcome to the BridgeU Bootcamp, Up Your Game for college and university applications in 6 weeks. Here is what we're going to cover in the next 6 lessons with BridgeU. Today, we're working on the strategy advisor and we're going to understand how to become the best university candidate. Next week, we're going to learn about the careers tool. We're going to dive into careers exploration and link your interests to our careers tool. The following week, we're going to learn about assessment tests and specifically about keys to succeed. You're then going to have a workshop on how to identify the best study destinations for you. You will learn how to know and sort your options through the BridgeU's University Matcher. And finally, all you need to know before applying, how to do university research. Here are a couple of things to keep in mind before we start today. Some of our activities require a little bit of preparation, so take some time, grab a notebook that you can freely take notes on and sketch on, grab 2 pens of different colors, then find a spot where you can sit comfortably, far from any distractions, and then log into your BridgeU account. Stop this video if you need some extra time. Otherwise, let's begin. Today, in this first lesson, we're learning how to be the best university candidate using the strategy advisor. And we are going to start by learning about interests, strengths, and skills. What is the difference between these 3 things? Well, interests are things that you like doing and that you're naturally eager to learn about, that you're curious about. Strengths are positive aspects of your personality and of the way you think. Skills are the ability to turn a strength into a useful action. Skills, like abilities, can be developed and can be learned. We will see today how you can select the skills that you're going to work on to become a better applicant. So, how to identify your interests, strengths, and skills? Examples of interests are science, animals, art. To find yours, ask yourself, what do you like doing? Think about your hobbies and the subjects that you like at school. Examples of strengths are being empathetic, being creative, being patient. To really understand what you're good at and what are your strengths, think, what is my personality like? And finally, example of skills are languages, like French, for example, the ability to work in team, and being good at communication. So ask yourself, what am I good at? What did I spend time learning? Well, try it yourself. Grab one piece of paper and a pen and draft on this piece of paper 3 boxes for interests, strengths, and skills. Now, pause this video and take a few minutes to fill out these boxes with your interests, strengths, and skills. If you have the chance, ask for help. Call a friend or maybe ask your parents, what do they think your strengths are? See you in a few minutes. So, how did it go? What did you come up with? I thought I'd share a nice example from one of our team members, Lisa, who, to brainstorm her interests, strengths, and skills, came up with a pretty creative way, and she drew some sketches. Moving forward, what is the connection between interests, strengths, and skills? Why do we talk about these 3 things together? Think about it this way. If you're interested in something and you're good at something, then you could probably build a related skill. An example is, I am interested in art and my strength is creativity. So I could build painting skills, for example. Now, let's go back to those boxes that we drew before. Can we try to make the connection? Think of it this way. If your interest is arts, it connects pretty well with your strength, which is creativity, and with a skill like painting. Now, I had put down another interest for myself. I'm interested in sports, in physical activities. And I am also athletic. How can I combine this, and maybe combine it also with my interest for arts, to build a new skill? There are several options, but a good example is I could start learn dancing. Now, repeat this exercise. Pause the video for a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes, and try to draw the connections. Where there is no connection, try to add a skill that you might be interested in learning. Use a pen of a different color to write the skills that you may want to work on, but you have no experience in yet. Pause the video and let us know how it goes. I hope this was a useful exercise. Now we're moving on to experiences and gathering our experiences. What is an experience? It's an event or an activity that has impacted you or left an impression on you in some way. Look at these photos. Quite a few things can come to your mind. Things that I am thinking of are an adventurous trip on a hot air balloon, the time I broke my collarbone playing rugby, being an activist and participating in a protest for a cause. What about you? What would be your top 3 images? You can go about these exercises many ways. You could collect photos of your experiences, or you could take a piece of paper, draft the boxes on this piece of paper, and sketch those activities in there. Don't worry about your drawing skills, even just an icon will do. Pause this video for 5 minutes and try to think of the 3 experiences that stand out to you. You're probably asking yourself, why are interests, strengths, skills, and experiences important? Why are we talking about these things? Well, the fact is that if you know these things, you'll be better equipped to identify your career choices, the ones that really suit you. You can start working on skills that you want to improve and become a better applicant for jobs and for universities in the future. You, most importantly, build your own brand and your story. Now, BridgeU has a tool that helps you track these things and work on them. We're going to dive into the Strategy Advisor and learn how it will help you improve and make the most of your time in high school. Let's start taking a look at it. Before we get into the Strategy Advisor, a little bit of a reminder. Do you remember how tasks on BridgeU work? Well, it's very likely that your counselor has set a task for you to complete the Strategy Advisor. If he has done so, it should be in your homepage. Remember to check the instructions that your advisor gave you. Remember to check the deadline, and most importantly, remember that when you're done with your exercise, you will have to come back to the homepage and press on the Send to Review button. Let's take a look at how it looks like. Right here, we have an example of a student that has a task to complete the Strategy Advisor. And as you can see, the counselor has put very detailed recommendations on how to do that. And right here on the right-hand side, there's a button that is called Send to Review. This is where you'll come at the end of the Strategy Advisor exercise to press it and make sure that you notify your counselor that you are done with your exercise and that you're waiting for his feedback. The first step with the Strategy Advisor is to log your experiences. To log your experiences in the Strategy Advisor today, you can use the 3 experiences that you identified in the previous activity. Let's talk a little bit about the general structure that your experiences should have. You should make sure to write down when did they happen and for how long. You should make sure to also specify where did you have these experiences and what exactly did you do. Let's take a look at how to do this with the Strategy Advisor. When you first get into the Strategy Advisor, you'll immediately notice that the central part of this feature has some examples that you can look into. With the arrows left and right, you can scroll through examples of activities and interests that are worth logging in. You'll also note that there's a bar that you can use to type in your experiences. And this is where we're going to input the experiences that we have made. For example, I can write that from the year 2015 until the year 2020, which is now, I have been practicing ballet. And I have been doing this at the Hong Kong Academy of Performing Arts. Now this can be easily added into the Strategy Advisor by clicking on Add. And you can see now that this experience has been added to the list of experiences in here. All right, why don't you pause the video for a couple of minutes now and fill out your own Strategy Advisor. Remember, you don't need to input too much at this stage. Try inputting the 3 experiences that you identified before. When you're ready, restart the video. Now that you have logged your experiences in the Strategy Advisor, we move on to step 2. We have to understand what is the value of the experiences you have done, what have you learned from them, and how have they made you a better person and a better applicant. Again, the Strategy Advisor can help you with this. We will find strategy factors that you can assign to your experiences, that you can link to your experiences. As you can see, when you move to the second step of the Strategy Advisor, you'll find something about the strategy factors. The strategy factors are basically themes, qualities, topics that you can link to your experiences. They can also represent the benefits of the activities that you have done. For example, an activity may have taught you critical thinking. It may have taught you about diligence. Or it may be a good example of an extracurricular activity and work experience. Try to read through the strategy factors before you start sorting your experiences. Once you're in, look at the experiences that you have added in the Strategy Advisor and ask yourself, what has this experience taught me? Where is the value of this experience? For example, 5 years experience in ballet is something that has taught me diligence. It's something that proves a formative interest in a subject outside of the school. Being a quite tough discipline, it is also something that has taught me resilience. So, every time you want to link a strategy factor to one of your experience, you have to click on the label and you will notice that that label will gray out. That means that it has been connected with your experience. Now, try to pause the video for a couple of minutes and use this time to connect the right strategy factors to your experiences. When you're ready, restart the video. I hope you enjoyed the previous exercise and that it taught you how there is value in the experiences that you have done. Now, let's move on to our step number 3. This is where we learn how to make the best of our time in high school to improve and to learn skills. Let's take a look at how the Strategy Advisor can help us make a plan. When you move to the step number 3 of the Strategy Advisor, you'll immediately notice that the Strategy Advisor can already tell you what you already have experience in and the areas you are strong in. Now, if you click on Learn How to Improve, you'll find all the areas in which you still have space to grow. Take a look at the list of factors that you can improve. You're not necessarily interested in improving all of them. Identify the ones that are important to you and take a look at the recommendation that BridgeU gives you on how to improve. For example, if in the future you'd like to be an entrepreneur, you'd probably want to improve your entrepreneurial spirit. And BridgeU will give you some examples of activities that you can do at school to build that skill. For example, beginning a club at your school to educate your community about global news. Now, our step 4 is for you to take a look at the suggestions in the Strategy Advisor. Which areas do you need to improve in? And what skills do you want to develop? Based on this, you're going to make a plan. The mission here is to set 3 goals and 3 actions based on what you learned today about yourself. Something of this kind. My goal number 1 for today is to develop a better global perspective. And to do that, for the next 3 months, I will take a Spanish language and culture class every week. What goals and what actions are you going to come up with? Pause this video for 5 minutes. Take note of your goals and of the actions that you're gonna take to improve your skills. When you're ready, restart the video. With the setting of your goals and action, you're done with today's lesson. Here are a few things that you should take away from this. You should have a clearer idea of what your interests, strengths, and skills are. You should also know a bit better which skills you need to work on going forward, and you should have thought of things to do to become better by setting at least 3 goals for yourself. And with this, we are done for today. Thank you for your time. Before you go, make sure to catch us on social media and share what you have done today. If you are on TikTok, remember to follow us at BridgeU and to share your top 3 experiences through the hashtag BridgeU and the hashtag BridgeUMyExperiences. Here is our very first submission from our team member, Lisa. Well done today, and thank you so much for taking this lesson with us. Before you go, stay another couple of minutes. We have a few things to tell you. First, our counselor, Mr. Arboleda, has something for you.
Hello out there, BridgeU world and BridgeU students. My name is Carlos Arboleda, and I am the guidance counselor at Georgia School Ningbo in Ningbo, China. I hope everybody's well and healthy. I want to talk a little bit about Strategy Advisor, how it's been successful for a couple of our students. It's been successful for more than that, but I'll share 2 stories and then something very important about Strategy Advisor. One of the aspects that a student was able to use was literally use it as an advisor. A student was thinking, what can I do? I have capacities, I have vision, and looking through Strategy Advisor was able to draw inspiration from some of the areas where it talks about leadership qualities, community service, and extracurricular activity, and created an aviation club. Wrote a constitution, put together a board, brought pilots to the school, educated about the aviation industry and aviation engineering, and was able to use that in his essay. Teachers were able to reference it for his recommendations, and he went on to go to a great university for aviation and is already flying. And another student, a young lady who's in 9th grade going into 10th, already is very much so involved in her community. When she reads Strategy Advisor, she's able to extrapolate from it how she can think about how this is part of her formative experience, how this is part of her background, how she gives to the community as a result, and will be able to reference this as she continues to build out her profile throughout the remaining years, all the way up into her application. And finally, I want you to take Strategy Advisor very seriously because it is real. We have seen how students have actually translated it into successful applications, and how teachers use it as a resource. Students use it to further enrich their profile, and as counselors, how we can also use it as becoming advisors for you as you continue to build out your best application possible. I wish you a lot of luck. Be well out there.
Thank you for watching this class today. We're looking forward to seeing you next week. And remember, share your interests, strengths, skills, and experiences with us. Anything goes. You can post photos, text, and videos as long as you join the conversation with our hashtags. Hashtag BridgeU, hashtag BridgeUMyExperiences. See you soon.